Good evening and welcome to the channel. We have what I think is going to be a very interesting video for you guys. We're going to go into the HTC Vive, and I actually have a good friend of mine who is a subject matter expert, and he's going to go into all the different components that we need, and he's going to show us how to set it up, and then we're going to do a brief demo. And this is my friend right here. His name is Mehdi, and he is, like I said, our subject matter expert, and he is going to walk us through what some of this equipment is.
Thanks, Frank. So we'll be talking about the HTC Vive. I'll give a little bit of kind of an introduction of what the hardware is, comes out of the box, and just go through some of the functionalities before we get into the actual demo. Out of the box, you get your headset, your two base stations, your link box, and the controllers. You get two controllers for left and right hand. So just kind of talking about the controller here, you got your power on and off, which also works as a secondary menu button, which we'll go through. Your actual menu button, your teleport button, and your select button, or grabbing things. Going to the headset here, you have the little camera here, and all these are the sensors. So you always want to keep this in a safe and dark place. You don't
This is
want
pretty fragile.
This is very fragile, and you don't want to keep it out in the sunlight, and it will definitely damage
Yeah,
it.
it looks like there's a little cover on the back of the lens.
Yeah, if you can see, it comes out with the cover, so just take it off whenever you're going to use it.
But leave it on otherwise, just because the optics inside is really delicate.
For safety purposes. Your base stations comes with wall mount. So it depends on the room you're using it in. If you can mount it, I think that will be the best. But
How high do you need to have them?
It's recommended to be higher than your height. So I would say probably 5.5, 6 feet to be, safe. And if you don't have anywhere to install it on your wall, I would say just buy a couple of light tripods, because those go pretty high, so you can use it, and it comes with a pre-standard.
Yeah, it looks like any kind of shoe mount will screw right into the bottom of this.
Exactly.
Actually, it'll in the back of it or the bottom.
In the back or the bottom, yeah.
That's actually pretty interesting. I've never done any VR stuff before, so I'm really looking forward to that. So why don't we jump over to the tech table, and you can show us how to get it all put together.
Yep.
So here we are at the tech table. Mehdi's gonna walk us through a little bit of what this gaming PC is made of, and then he's going to show us how to hook everything up together, and I might help him a little bit.
Thanks, Frank. So here we have a MSI gaming Windows-based PC. I won't get into all the specs for this computer, because you have a lot of options. You don't have to have an MSI computer, but the important thing is this is an i7 and this is a GeForce graphics card. So in this case, out of your link box, your output is HDMI. So you want to make sure that your graphics card has a couple of HDMIs, because you'll go HDMI out of your link and out of your graphics card into your monitor. Here we have the link box, which connects your headset to your PC. And as you can see, this side is orange, and this side doesn't have any color. So looking at the cables out of your headset, you have your HDMI, your USB, and power. So the orange goes to orange, and your PC side, you have your USB 3 goes to any of your USB 3 ports. Your HDMI, make sure to connect it to the graphics card of your PC. And out of your graphics card, that's what goes into your monitor as well.
And next we have the base stations that we were talking about earlier. And these base stations will mount to any camera tripod. You just take the shoe off of the back of the camera tripod and you screw it in. You can either screw it into the back or you can screw it into the bottom. I think you want to screw it into the bottom. And then that way you can then hook it directly into any one of the tripods. And like we said earlier, you just want to make sure that once it's mounted on the tripod, you make sure you raise the tripod up higher than the subject's head.
Yep. And the only thing that really you need to worry about is the power out of the box. So when you set this up in your room, you want to make sure they're on the opposite side of each other, and you want to make sure that they're facing each other. If they're not facing each other, you're going to get a purple light. But if they are facing each other and they're properly set up, you'll see a green button, which means they're connected properly.
And is there a minimal room size?
Yeah. The recommended size is 5 by 5 feet, but I've tried this in a much smaller space and it's worked perfectly fine. When you're going through your setup, you can pick just the stationary setting, where if you're just on your desktop, you can just pick that setting. But I've tried different games where it requires a larger space, so just be mindful of that. If you can go with 5 by 5, that's the recommended size.
And it looks like there's a bunch of inputs, power and
Yeah.
HDMI, or not HDMI, USB.
So just to go through that with you real quick, you have your power, you have your link connection. If there is a case where your base stations are not picking each other up and you're just getting the purple light and it's not connecting, the easiest thing to do is just go ahead and connect the cable that comes out of the box. It's in the box. Just connect those and they will be connected from there.
So you press the link button on one, then you go press the link button on the other one.
Exactly. And the other connection is your USB, which is for doing driver updates.
Oh, so you don't actually have to have anything plugged into this when you're actually using this for training or gaming?
Yeah, for the most part, the only thing you're going to connect is the power. And as long as you have them facing each other, they're going to pick each other up. I've never had a situation where they didn't connect. As long as they're facing each other, it's an easy connection.
So why don't we plug this into a monitor, and we can I'll get hooked up and I'll put the headset on and the controllers, and we'll show you guys what it actually looks like. Here we are with the gaming system plugged into our beautiful 65-inch plasma TV. Mehdi, why don't you show us what we need to do to get the ball rolling and have a little bit of fun with this.
Yeah. So before you get started, you want to make sure you go on the HTC Vive webpage and install Vive and Steam applications. So as you can see, here's the site, vive.com. And make sure before you get started to create an account for yourself. There are two applications you need to run. One is the Vive application, and the other one for playing games is an application called Steam. And you can download both of them from this website. Next, once you install this, we'll get into room setup.
Once you've downloaded the Vive app and created your username and password, the very next thing that we need to do is we need to set up the room. And setting up the room appears to be pretty simple. We just need to put one base station on one side of the room and one on the other, and we're going to do that right now. Once you have your base stations set up in your room, one on either side, the very next thing you need to do is you need to go into Vive and set up your virtual reality room. And this is how you do it.
Once you've opened your Vive application, go ahead go ahead and run your room setup. You have two options here, standing room only or room scale. In our space, we'll go ahead and do a room scale. You want to make sure everything is green. So if you do have something that's not connected, just go ahead and turn it on. So in our case, we have both of our controllers turned on and both of our stations are seeing each other. So everything is green and ready to go. So here it says pull and hold triggers. Once everything is green and ready to go, press next. Point to the monitor and hold the back trigger button.
So pull the trigger and don't let go. Oh, it's vibrating. Now let go of the trigger.
Let go and
yeah, it vibrated when I pulled the trigger.
And go and press next. Next, we want to calibrate the floor, which means you want to put the handheld back on the floor, so it will calibrate where the floor is in relations to your base stations. So you say calibrate floor, next, next. Here, what we need to do is trace your space in your room where
so
you'll
I need to
be
pick up
doing.
both controllers?
So go ahead and pick up one of the controllers. Walk over to the edge of your space, of your camera right there.
Now these are line of sight, so...
These are line of sight.
Okay.
So go ahead and hold the trigger and walk basically in a square of where your room is. And you can actually see where it's tracing your room.
Now let go of the trigger?
Let go of the trigger, and it automatically creates a square showing where your space is within the room. And we'll say next. And as you can see here, we have 3 by 2 meter space.
And that's the size of the room that we made.
This is the size of the room that we have.
Okay.
And we'll see how it will work in the space that we have, but it should work well.
Okay.
And it will say setup is complete, and we are done, ready to go. All right, next, we'll go ahead and grab this. I will go ahead and put this on.
Don't mess my hair up.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna be freaking out in a second.
I got my eyes shut right now until you got this because it's like digging into my eyeballs.
Oh, sorry. Okay, how's that?
It's got to go down a little bit.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? If you just hold these for, oh, look at, wow, that's kind of cool looking.
I'll go ahead and put the earbuds on.
Hold on, I'm going to adjust my
Okay.
mask a little bit here. There we go. Crazy, I could just see
Put
those.
your earbuds on.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm in the white room. Now the room is black. I'm assuming something's loading.
Mm-hmm. Look around. Do you see something?
No, everything's black. Oh, okay, I was facing the wrong way.
There you go.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so I want to stop. I wish I could face the other way, then I'm facing the camera.
No.
Is it loading? Ah, Oh, they're backwards.
Switch hands.
Kind of freaky.
There's a suitcase in front of you that's going to scan you, make sure you're actually Peter Parker. There you go. Grab that. There you go.
This suit is designed to
look
fit
at
your
that.
specific dimensions exactly.
Spider-Man now.
Please review the fit and finish in the reflective surface nearby.
Wait.
Oh, hello. Hey, look at me.
Would you like me to continue with the ego boosting protocol?
All right.
So heroic looking.
Box is closing.
We must calibrate your web
Birds
functions.
around me.
Initiating your new
How do
web
I-
shooters. Initiating rapid fire web. Burst mode.
Ah.
Hold your web shooters to shoot web bullets repeatedly. Try hitting that bottle.
You gotta hit the bottle, not the sign. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Pop balloons. Oh. Pop, pop. I'm making a mess in here. Knocking this. How do I?
Go and look around. You got one more bottle to
Oh,
hit.
I see.
Rapid fire shooters. Calibrated.
15 out of 15 bottles.
Perhaps there is a system error. I will reboot. Initiating web grenades.
Boom. I
Charge
didn't even
grenade
pop the
mode.
balloon.
Now you
Hold
gotta
to charge your
blow
grenade.
up. Yeah, there you go.
Try removing the large debris over
Now
there.
the other one. And the other one.
I got metros.
Web grenade.
Alright.
Calibrated.
5 out of 5.
Please remember to train harder. Initiating web sling.
So where's my
Tether mode.
targets?
Press and hold the web shooter to launch and connect web sling to an
You gotta
object.
pull. Pull those.
Try
Yeah, there you
removing the
go.
posters from that wall over there.
No. Oh, try to do both of them at the same time. All
You're
right, 7 out of 7.
Initiating WebNet mode. Press and let go of the web shooter. Try to capture those drones. WebNet
All right.
calibrated.
No more drones.
You are on the right track. Nice work. Alien energy readings are coming from your location. Please get to higher ground for
We
more
got some
detailed
crazy
analysis.
explosion.
There is a crane 400 feet above
Nuclear
you.
holocaust.
Go
Engage
ahead and
web
step
sling
back
to
a little
ascend.
bit.
Whoa, hello. That's kind of weird.
Alien
fall.
energy
I know,
sources
right?
within sight range. Determining cause and sending a drone to get a trace.
You can switch between your with the middle button. You can change
Source of
your.
alien energy is getting closer. 100 meters and closing.
Bombs going. Get them.
Shouldn't have done that.
Look to your left. Now you gotta grab that.
You're messing with me.
No, not with the other hand.
Structural integrity failing. Use your web net to
Pull
repair
it. Can you pull it? There you go.
Come on, get up.
I've disabled other webs for
Try.
your convenience.
Yes. There you go.
Up, up.
And hit there. Go ahead. Boom. Good.
All right.
Crane stabilized.
Of course, that thing's swinging. It's going to hit me.
Now look ahead.
Sculpture is getting away. Please follow the
Yeah,
waypoint
go
on
ahead
the
and get
horizon.
on that.
Nice. So
That was it.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
How'd
right?
that feel?
It felt really crazy. Like when I was actually standing on top of the crane, I literally got a little vertigo.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause
Feels like you're actually there, right?
I wasn't expecting to actually be standing on top of the crane, so I kind of like felt it in my chest a little bit.
Yeah. Go back home.
Well, that was actually really, really neat. I can't wait to get this video and get it into Final Cut Pro and edit it for you guys, because I'm really looking forward to seeing what it looked like. That was the first time I'd ever done anything virtual reality. I'm not a big gamer, so I don't play many games. So I was a little worried that, you know, the buttons, I'd be confused as to what the buttons were, but there's literally a trigger, a teleport, a menu, and a back button. So it's not that hard at all. And the prompts on the screen were pretty easy to follow. The sound was neat. The Spider-Man was neat. I really enjoyed it, and I'm actually looking forward to playing some more of these games. So Mitty, why don't you come in here? So,
What'd you think?
yeah, I thought it was really neat. You know, I wouldn't have been able to do this without you. So I really, really appreciate it.
sure.
If you guys have any questions regarding any of this, please leave the comments below. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if this is the first time to my channel, please subscribe to my video, and I'd appreciate it. And Mitty would also appreciate it. So thanks a lot, guys. Have a great night, and I'll see you on my next video.